Hello and welcome to Take 10 with 4-H Community Service Plan for the year. I am Cheryl Butterfield, the state agent for volunteer and leadership development, and we're going to talk a little bit about planning our community service and what that might look like for a year. First question you want to ask to your club or your group is, why are we doing the community service? What's our purpose? What's our goal? What do we want to accomplish? Are we promoting 4-H as a part of our community service, getting out and doing something for others? Are we thanking someone who's been a support to us and in turn doing something back for the community? A service to the community, something separate that stands alone, that's just a need for our community? And is it an individual or is it a club meeting service project that we're actually going to be doing as a part of our club meetings? So when you're planning, a good place to start is looking at whether it's a seasonal or holiday community service time of the year that you're wanting to do. Who is the intended recipient? Maybe there's other groups that are also participating in this community service. So we might want to look into who else could we join and be a part of. Or is that something that they're completing and there's another group that might need our assistance and we could spread around a little bit more our community service versus focusing on one particular item or target area? Is there something the other group has done for a while? If they're the ones who've been doing it forever and only one group is needed to do this, then definitely, finding that out for your community and working with other groups or working together, as we mentioned, and maybe looking for another community service or one to complement what they're doing and make a bigger impact. So specific to an organization, sometimes it's seasonal or holiday that we're looking at that time of year when there's lots of opportunities, but sometimes it's specific to an organization that we want to give back to. And who's the intended recipient? Who does that organization serve? What is our a goal of helping, and how can we be of help most exponentially? What is their needs, and talking to that organization about what exactly they might need. And is there a specific time they accept those items? Talking to the organization so you understand the timing and looking for specific items. You may think, oh, it's great to bring toothpaste, for example. And they may say, that's wonderful, but we would love the small individual travel tubes work better for how we disperse this out to our clientele. So it's really knowing what is the items that best benefit that organization for the intended recipients of the community service. Maybe you want to designate a month, or there's a month that's designated for something specific that you can join a part of. And maybe it's coats for kids. You've seen that one. It's in the winter months, it's advertised, but do they accept coats all month long? Is it only something that they want to do during that month or accept during a particular month? So again, going back to an organization and saying, what are your guidelines for this community service? And something to think about, if it's a summer type opportunity, does your club even meet during that month, or is that something that might be in addition to your normal meeting time? What fits best for your club and your clientele, or for your community? What is the need that you're trying to do, or what do you assist with, or how do you want to give back to your community? Is it specific to a designated day? Something else to consider. Sometimes it's a particular day, but it may be on a weekday, and that may not fit with the club meeting. So you can always talk to the organization or the coordinator of a community service and say, is it possible for us to gather things earlier or deliver them later? What might work for you, and how can we be a part of helping with this? And is it something that you repeat every year? Does the club want to do the same community services? And then always analyzing, what worked for your club in terms of organization of getting things gathered or being there to clean a park. Did we bring our gloves? Did we bring the shovels and the rakes, or were they provided? And then what didn't work? Trying to treat it like you would any activity in terms of making sure you're better prepared the next year and you're able to complete the community service that you set out to complete. We do have in our club leaders handbook a sheet that's how to plan. And in this, it talks about all your pieces of your club meeting planning for the year, which is kind of nice to lay it out. And you may have some months that you don't meet, or you may meet in July and it's a swim party, and that's not a meeting, but it's just a fun opportunity for the kids to get together. Or you may do a Christmas party in December. This is where you can lay that out. What is your business agenda? What needs to be accomplished? What does the program? Do you have a program that goes with them? Maybe your December business agenda is making some decisions on club support, members going to an event or a trip in the spring. And then you're going to follow with community thank you gift bags that you're going to be putting together as part of your program and delivering them either that day or scheduling out where different groups can take and deliver those to your community. So all this is planned out. As you can see, community service is one of those categories. So when you plan your year out, it just makes it more understandable and everybody's on the same page of what we have going on and gets to contribute to that planning. Just this was a really brief overview of looking at community service. We have another great Take 10 that's much more in depth, which gives you more ideas of things you can do as a club and opportunities. So I would encourage you to check that out. It is also on the New Mexico 4-H website, which is where this one will be located. Thank you and have a great day.